Hello everyone, this is Jack from Orsking Education and Migration Group. In today's video, let's take a look at how does the Australian Skilled Migration System works. Australian Skilled Migration Visas is a set of visa categories established by the Australian government to get skilled worker from overseas who wants to migrate to Australia. Applicant must have certain skill level in English to be selected as professional and skilled work to migrant to Australian. The system could be divided into three categories and types of visas: 189 skilled independent visa, 190 skilled nominated visa, and 491 skilled work regional provisional visa or subsequent entrant. About skilled migration system, first we need to understand the principle and operation of the EOI system. All skilled migration visas require applicants to conduct a scoring test through EOI system. EOI must be submit online using Skill Select. Applicants need to under age of 45, have IELTS score at least 6 for each components, have a skill assessment, and reaching the minimum EOI score of 65. Once obtaining the invitation from immigration, the applicants can submit the visa application online. The EOI invitation system usually issues invitations after being screened by a machine. The EOI invitation system is machine screened and invitations are issued based on the applicant's occupation, EOI score and the order in which the EOI is submitted. Sometimes the EOI invitation rules are adjusted based on the current fiscal year's immigration quota, the number of applicants and the market demand for the occupation. This is the 189 visa, skilled independent visa. A perfect system of pre-set rules, machine invitations and queuing of applicants, not only saves the immigration department a lot of time and resources, but also leaves more flexibility for future policy changes and a relatively fair invitation system for immigrant applicants, which is currently used in both Australia and New Zealand. Of course, there will be queue jumpers in any rule of invitation system, that is the Australian state government, through State Nomination Migration Scheme. The state government will have special rights to skip the EOI machine screening and invitation, and directly queue the applications for EOI and issue invitations. The visa subclass are usually subclass 190 and subclass 491. Different from the EOI selection system, the state government selects EOI applicants by manual review. The state government will obtain a certain amount of quotas from federal government every financial year, and then set up their own nomination requirements and rules based on their state's needs and future development plans. Each state government has individual skilled occupation list and score requirements. They have certain right to adjust it at any time. State government-sponsored migration could be roughly divided into the following four pathways to apply: state graduates, state workers, state small business owners, and overseas applicants. Due to the limited annual federal quota, some states may occasionally open specific occupations to make up for skilled shortages in some sectors, but the requirements are usually very strict, such as a minimum of 3 to 5 years relevant work experience and IELTS score of 7 or above, which could be the basic requirements. Current state sponsorship applications can be divided into two main streams: those with an online application form and clear nomination requirements, and those without an online application form and clear nomination requirements. There are 3 state governments with online application forms and clear nomination requirements: Tasmania, Northern Territory and South Australia. The application forms and state sponsorship requirements for these 3 states are publicly available and can be found on the state government websites. As long as you meet the requirements of the state government, you can directly submit the local state sponsorship application. EOI invitation will be reviewed and issued within 2 to 8 weeks. Visa can be submitted after receiving the EOI invitation. Among them, Tasmania and the Northern Territory are the 2 states with the most relaxed requirements. The requirements are quite favourable for state graduates: no need to match state occupation list, work experience and no EOI score competition. Basically, you can study 2 years in the state and then submit the nomination application. South Australia has an independent occupation list that applies to applicants from all pathways. Each occupation list has detailed jobs, IELTS and score requirements. Only those occupations on the list can be submitted once applicants meet the requirements. Victoria, New South Wales, Western Australia, Queensland, and Canberra. These 5 states do not have public application forms and clear invitation rules, but they will announce the general nomination requirements of the state. Applicants are required to submit an ROI to the state of their choice after submitting their EOI. ROI is like the state government version of EOI, which is a kind of interest registration form. It requires applicants to fill in the occupation, working, education, IELTS and EOI score. The state government will send a state application form to the selected applicant based on the ROI applicant's occupation, score, EOI score, and the state's market demand. After receiving the state government application form, the applicant needs to submit the application within 14 days after ensuring that the state nomination requirements are met, and then they need to pay the application fee. The approval time is about 1 to 2 months. If you are successfully invited by state government, then you can submit your visa application. Of course, the success rate is not that high, because applicants need to meet the state government requirements, and submit the state sponsorship application within 14 days after ROI invitation and application form sent. We have seen many applicants who did not meet the state government requirements, but still received the application form. Some people have submitted the ROI for more than 1 year, and no longer work in that state currently after receiving the application form. It is very difficult to go back to find a job within 14 days, so the only option is to give up the ROI invitation. New South Wales ROI applicants should pay more attention that when the application is not submitted within 14 days after receiving the state government application form, or the state sponsorship application is rejected, it will be a 12-month waiting period to submit the ROI again, and a new EOI needs to be registered. In general, these 5 states do not have an open invitation system, and they require residency and employment in the state, a high EOI score on the state occupation list. The applicant must indicate the state they wish to immigrate to when submitting the EOI. The list of occupations varies from state to state. For example, Victoria has Workforce Skills Pathway and STEMM list, which is biased towards technology, health and care, and early childhood teacher. ACT has an independent matrix scoring system where the higher the score for the same occupation, the better the chances to be invited. However, the state government is constantly adjusting and unpredictable in terms of which occupations and matrix scores they send out applications for. New South Wales will consider the EOI score, state occupation list, current working, and IELTS. However, there is no fixed standard, and there are 4 ROI submission windows each year, around July, October, and January and April. ROI can only be submitted when the window period is open. It should be noted that ROI is not an application for state sponsorship. There is no time limit for processing. Those who have not received the application form after waiting for 1 year can start to check the policies of other states to avoid wasting the best time for immigration. Ausking Education and Immigration also reminds applicants that the application information and supporting documents must be accurate and up to date in both state government and visa application. That is the way to ensure that you can get the PR smoothly and successfully. Finally, we wish you all the best of luck in achieving your PR. If you like our video, please subscribe, like, share, and see you next time.